Welcome back to the Morning Mindset. Let's get right into the scriptures today. We're looking at Psalm chapter 57, and I want to look at one verse in the chapter. It's verse number 5, and it's a very short verse, so I'm not even sure if I have 5 minutes worth of things to say about this, but I'm trusting the Lord to teach us as we look at Psalm 57:5. It says, "Be exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let your glory be over all the earth." I don't know how a verse like this strikes you when you first read it, but I, for a long time, have heard phrases like, "Be exalted, O God." And I think to myself, in the logical part of my brain, well, God is exalted above the heavens. He is exalted above the earth. That's the reality of his existence. So why would I want to pray like the psalmist here, "Be exalted, O God"? It's like I'm asking him to do something he's already doing, or I'm asking him to be something he's already being. Well, I think what the psalmist means when he writes in this way is that he's really instructing his heart to exalt God. You see, he's directing his own thoughts to recognize and to accept that God is exalted. And then he gives some descriptors above the heavens and over all the earth to remind himself of the magnitude of God's exaltation. Now, why is that important? Why do we need to remind ourselves that God is exalted? Well, because we, at many times in our lives, feel much less than exalted, right? We feel beneath the burden of some sort of circumstance. We feel in need or under attack in various ways. And we are the exact opposite of being exalted. We're under the load. We're beneath the burden. And reminding ourselves that our God, who we serve, who is our Father, who is on our side, is exalted above the heavens. And for me, that is a great reset to my mindset. It enables me to recognize that the circumstance I'm under, no matter how heavy it may feel or how oppressive, is one that my God is capable of addressing effectively because he is exalted. He is exalted above the heavens, meaning even the universe, even the stars, the planets, the galaxies are within his control. That's his place of authority. And so this small thing in my life, as heavy as the burden may feel, it's very small by comparison. And this small thing is even under God's domain and even under his rule. And so then I can kind of turn my attitude toward the attitude that the writer expresses in the last part of this verse, where he says, "Let your glory be over all the earth." You see, to me, there's a change in his demeanor from the first line to the second. He's saying, "Be exalted, O God, above the heavens," reminding himself. And then he says, "Let your glory be over all the earth." He's reminding himself God's glory, the worship and praise that he receives from being who he is, spreads across the entire earth. And he's wanting to remind himself as well, my God is glorious. My God is worthy of my praise, even if I'm in a difficult circumstance. And I personally find that to be the harder of these two things. I can remind myself that God's exalted and that he's glorious, but to willingly express in the midst of a difficult time that I want God to be glorified. I want him to be lifted up, even in and perhaps through the difficulty that I'm enduring. Man, that's a hard place to be sometimes because our feelings get involved and we want to kind of commiserate in our misery. And we want to, have others look at us in a poor me kind of a way so that we receive some kind of soothing words from others and we're like coddled a little bit. But the eyes of faith look up to our God even in our difficult circumstances, even when others are coming against us. And we praise him and we exalt him. So my friends, today, look up, realize your God is exalted, his glory is over all the earth, and even over the circumstances you find yourself in today. Join me again tomorrow.